Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Joey again. You're watching VegasDtech, and today guys, we're out on another fabulous day out here at Cornerstone Park, and I got another e-bike or a personal electric vehicle PEV scooter review for you today. And we're going to be working with a company called HIBOY, and we're going to be taking a look at the S2 Max right behind me, guys. Let's take a closer look. Now, I know a lot of you folks are saying, hey, Joey, you know, e-bikes are one thing, but we see a lot of these scooters being ridden by, kids, students, the younger society. Why would an older individual be interested in something like this? Well, guys, that's what we're going to discuss today. So let's get to it. So initially today, guys, I was going to take you folks out over to the district over at Green Valley, perusing the stores and so forth, but looks like Donald Trump is in town and he's having a rally somewhere in this area, and they've got a lot of these streets blocked off, so I can't get around to it. It's probably better that I brought you around here so that I could show you this magnificent little park that's located right in the middle of the neighborhood. The whole beginnings of this lake here at Cornerstone Park is that it started off as a rock quarry. So what ended up happening here is that the construction companies dug this pit to pull rocks and boulders out of here to build up all of these homes, including these condos right back behind us. And after they dug down so far, they hit the water table. And when that happened right there, the water wouldn't go down anymore. And now it became a low-lying area. And the water will continue to flow from that intake down at the end down. It'll flow right down through here, and it travels through the bridge and out down into the wash, and it goes all the way out to Lake Mead to be returned. So all the flood water is returned back to Lake Mead, and this is the beginnings of Cornerstone Park. But nevertheless, it's a perfect place to bring you guys to do the review on this HIBOY S2 Max. So to discuss this here, guys, you can see people come out here, they ride their e-bikes. They primarily, they like to come out here and walk, ride bikes and so forth. And depending on how you like to get around, if you have the cardio for it, then maybe a good walk is for you. But if not, then maybe you might want a bike or scoot. Hello. And the climbing on this right here, the company says that this can climb like a 20% grade. And I'm looking at this right here, it looks no more than to be about maybe an 8 to 10 to 12. And we're gonna go ahead, I've just got it in drive. I can put it in the max power, which is sport. And we're getting about 14 miles per hour climbing up this grade right here, which looks to be about a 14%. And like I said, the company says that this can handle, no problem, up to 20%. And I'm about 200 pounds. And you can see the bike is pulling me quite well, doing 17 miles an hour all the way up to the very top. Now, the thing that's cool about a scooter like this, guys, is getting on and off of this thing is just so simple. You just step right off, kickstand down, and you're off, right? And you can go ahead and take pictures, take selfies, you know, adjust yourself, do what you got to do, and you're back on it the same way. Just a kickstand, hit the throttle, you're off, and you're back on again. There's not a whole lot of effort that's required to get on and off one of these things. And you know, I see the appeal, and you know, guys, I really do see the appeal why people actually like, you know, riding around on something like this, because it's just so easy on something like this. It's very easy for you to pack up, store, get out to where you're going. And like I said, you and your husband, you and your wife, you and your kids could quite easily jump on a couple of these and spend the afternoon out here. Right now in the fall, it's like 68, 72 degrees, and it's just a beautiful time to get out here. And the HIBOY S2 Max is the perfect size with the perfect power and the perfect price, and maybe something that you might want to consider for yourself. So I can completely see the appeal of something like this scooter here, and why you see so much of this out in public. The price point on something like this runs about $599. You're gonna get a 48 volt 11.6 amp hour battery, and the company basically is saying that something like this should get you, depending on your weight and the topography of where you're riding, up to 40 miles on one charge. If we take a look at this thing right now, I've been riding this thing. I don't have an actual mile per hour reading on this. I would have to actually open up the phone app to see how far I've ridden, but I've gone around this park here at least 3 times. And that would be 3 miles. And if you take a look at my battery bar, I have full bars. Say 3 miles on it, I have full bars. And like I said, 20 miles per hour. So the S2 Max comes with all-terrain tires, 10-inch tires. The company claims that it could actually go off-road. And I've seen the commercial, or at least their ads, where the guy is like using this thing off-road. But there is no suspension on this here, no front, no back. So, you know, I don't know how harsh that would feel, but I really wouldn't want to. But if you had to, if you actually had to go and take this thing off-road, like for instance, we have to cut through this gravel right here, you don't have to worry about it. The tires are rated for it. So you could just go ahead and just jump on the gravel, cut through, and jump back on your path, and you're back on your actual path again. You know what I mean? So I like the idea that you have, you know, the tires that can actually handle something like that. You know, say you wanted to cut through this trail right here. We're just like, well, where's this thing going? Well, I don't know. Let's just take a look. Cut through this trail, come back through here, and just ride this trail all the way through, back down to the main road down here. And like I said, you don't want to hit too many potholes or ruts on something like this, because with no suspension, you're going to be feeling it really good. But as you guys can see, man, riding around on the dirt, no problem. So we went down this way. I don't know where this thing takes me. I think it's going to take you along the freeway, which we don't want to. We can go back left to the lake, or we can go right over here through the tunnel. And I believe this is going to take us to a different park. Dude, to me, this is absolutely fun, especially when the weather is great. Like today, I mean, 68 to 72 degrees. Yes, we are definitely headed towards the fall. The best time in the world to get out. Guys, look, if I can motivate you to come out of the house, you know, you got a few bucks. A lot of times we blow money on stuff that we don't need. But something like this, if it gets you out of your lounge chair, it gets you out of the house, and can get you out here enjoying some sunshine, breathing some, you know, nice fresh air, then you know what, then I've done my job. Because we only got so much time, you know, left on this planet, and why not come out here and enjoy all of this beautiful infrastructure that I know your city has. All of you guys have, you know, things in your city that you may not know exist, because we spend all of our time in cars on the road, and we never bother to take our eyes off the road because of, you know, we're concerned about traffic. But over to your left and over to your right, you got all these little trails that, you know, they're out here for you to enjoy. And you know, you may not be able to enjoy it walking, but if you have an e-bike or an e-scooter, whatever it is, you know, jumping on one of these can open up a whole world of adventure and exploration. So we've come down here to the Arroyo Grande Sport Complex, and remember what I was telling you about the wash? So everything that we had, all that water that was inside that pond over there, it comes through and it washes out through here, and this continues this entire channel. Right now it's empty, but when it floods, the water can come all the way up to the banks and it flows under that bridge. So it's basically a water diversion system. So riding around on the S2 Max, I've already shown you how simple and easy it is for you to transport this thing, how light it is, and how nimble it is for you to maneuver it in small areas around people. The ability for this thing to ride on paved areas as well as traverse, you know, this type of dirt out here. If you needed to get on the dirt, it could actually do that. But let's go ahead. Many of you are interested in knowing just how fast this thing can get to. And I believe that the website of this company says that this scooter should be able to get you up to around 19 miles per hour. I think it can do better than that. And considering that it's pulling me around at 200 pounds, I'm highly impressed. But let's go ahead and get out here to this stretch. And I'm going to try to go ahead and get a high-speed run for you with the GPS to confirm the actual true speed. Okay, so we're going to get on down here and start that. So if we take a look at the calibration here, wow, it's not very far off. It's pretty much right on. Maybe 1 mile per hour difference on here, but I'm seeing 10 on the GPS, 10 on the scooter. I'm going to call that proper. All right, so let's just go ahead and go through the different modes right here, okay guys? So the very first mode you're going to have here, I'm going to double click it, is eco mode, okay? Eco mode, let's go ahead and jump on it. I'm going to give it full throttle and see what she takes us up to. All right, so in eco mode, I'm seeing about 11 miles per hour, which is a gentle cruising speed for riding around the park here like this, guys. This is probably all I would want, you know, and all I would actually need, because it's really no more than a brisk walking speed, you know. Then I'll kick it up here. We'll put it into drive mode and we'll kick that up there. So we got 11 in the first one. And in our second mode here on drive mode, it looks like it's going to get us up to around 16 miles per hour. All right. So mode 2, which is our drive mode, we're looking at 16 miles per hour. And then for the very end, we'll go ahead and kick it up into sport mode, which is a double click. And we'll go ahead and get on that and see how far this will get us, or how high it will get us. And here we are, we've already passed 17, 18, 19. The site says 19 miles per hour is what it should get us, and it is exactly doing that, 19. So I like the fact that, you know, the company claims something and the actual product that they sell you actually gives you what they claim. So one of the concerns that I had on this scooter here is the longer the board, it seems like the lower the clearance that you have. You don't have a whole lot of clearance on the bottom of the S2 Max here, but what they have given you down here is on the bottom, there is like a skid plate that's down there, so that if you ever do scratch the bottom of the bike, or you bottom out on like a speed bump or something like that, there's a plastic skid plate on the bottom that's going to take all of the damage and not have that impact the actual scooter. And if it wears out over time, there are little screws on there that comes off, and I do believe that you should be able to get a replacement to screw onto the bottom and protect your scooter. When you first boot it up, you're going to see the full display of all the different icons that are available. But when you're actually in riding mode, you're only going to get these small items here. You're going to get the miles per hour, your battery bar, and you're going to get what mode that you're in. Eco, double click. You're going to get your drive mode, double click. You're going to get your sport mode. And if you click it one time, you're going to get your headlight. which you can see right there. And to turn off the headlight, you just click it one time again. And a long press will power the unit off. And remember, there is no stepping on it. Alrighty folks, so we come down to the pros and cons of the HIBOY S2 Max. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, first and foremost, guys, I just love the portability of this thing. I do not require a whole lot of power on this scooter. I had such a good time today on this thing, riding it around. I forgot that I was kind of like in the middle of a review. It got so dirty. But the portability of it, the durability of it, the long-lasting battery, even though it's only an 11.6 amp hour battery, being that I only ride this thing around at 15 miles per hour around areas like this lake right here, it's going to last me a long, long time. If I did have any kind of a con, it would be how easy would it be for me to replace the inner tubes that are inside these tires. This back tire has a challenging nipple. In order to get the air into, you have to put this adapter on that will extend it for you to put air in. I'm not sure exactly how I would get this tire out. I didn't see any instructions in the manual that showed me how to get these caps off the back or the front in order for me to access the bolt to get the wheel off for me to replace the tubes. However, they did have a scan box there that if you scan it with your camera, it will provide you a video on how to actually replace the inner tubes, which was very descriptive and very helpful. Another thing too is having the brakes combined, you know, both front and back into one. The front brake is actually a drum brake, which is right here, right? It's got a drum style brake. I've never had any scooters or e-bikes with a drum brake. I don't know the complexity of how to replace that if it goes bad on you. The disc brakes are pretty simple, but I've never done one with a drum. And then, like I said, the back brake right here, it's a regen type of a brake, so it's all electronic. So if I had any type of complaints, it might be just not understanding how difficult it would be to actually remove the wheel or to replace the drum brake. But other than that, guys, I have no other complaints about this scooter. Who would I recommend it for? I would recommend it to everybody or anybody. I recommend it for children. I recommend it for teenagers, for students that are going to college. I recommend it for the guy at the corner convenience store that needs, you know, a simple way to get to work that doesn't require, you know, vehicles, you know, insurance, registration, maintenance, something like that. The price point on this is just right at around $599. And I do recommend it even for older individuals that need some type of a portable type transportation that you could put inside your RV that's not going to take up a whole bunch of space. And yeah, so anyways, folks, that's everything that I have for you today on this review of the HIBOY S2 Max. I hope you found this information beneficial, useful, or even entertaining, and I hope that it helped you make a buying decision as if something like this would be of a benefit to you. If you need more information to some of the specs and features of this scooter that I may not have covered, a link to their website will be down in the description box down below. Run over there, have a look, take a look at some of their product lines, see if there's anything for you. If this is not it, they do sell e-bikes too. So anyways, guys, that's everything that I have for you today out here at Cornerstone Park down by the water. I appreciate you coming out with me and spending your afternoon. This is Joey, you're watching VegasDtech. I'll catch you guys out here again on the next review. You guys be well, take it easy now. Bye.